a little bit of a different video tonight. So these are the 5 steps that you're gonna take if you've got a dog that's been through some kind of abuse and you need to train that dog. This goes for whether you just brought that dog home from the shelter or from another rescue, or maybe you've rescued the dog and it's been with you for a little while, a couple months, maybe a year or so, still are struggling with trying to train that dog. This is the same stuff that you're gonna implement. The first thing that you're gonna do, the number one thing, you must take the emotion out of it. I don't care what your dog's been through, let it go. If you don't hold on to it, your dog won't hold on to it. So whether your dog was physically abused, tied up to a tree, it was a bait dog, a fight dog, take the emotion out of it. So here's what happens, especially with us women, because by nature, we are compassionate and we want to nurture and we want to make you feel better. So if you just brought a dog home or you already have a dog and it's got high anxiety and you know it's related to the abuse or whatever the situation was, but the dog has this nervous energy, this anxiety, when that dog is exhibiting that behavior. Harrison, pronto, come up here. Good boy. So you've got a dog that's got all kinds of anxiety. And physically and verbally, you're sitting here saying, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's okay, don't worry about it. I know, and you start talking to your dog like this. And this dog is showing me, he's not, but pretend like he is. Stop it. This dog is showing me a lot of nervous anxiety. What you're doing, 2 things. 1, your soothing voice. Your dog doesn't know you're saying it's okay. It just hears your soothing voice. And your physical touch, which is confirmation for your dog. 1, you're telling your dog, yes, the behavior you're giving me is exactly the behavior I want, which you don't want. And the second thing you're saying is, you have every reason to be stressed out and freaked out right now. So keep doing that, keep doing that. So what you need to do is take your hands off your dog, dial back your affection, and just let your dog be. The second thing you need to do, let your dog decompress. Give your dog some space. If you've just brought that dog home from a shelter or a rescue, remember, these are the things that you need to do before you start training that dog. You haven't built a bond with that dog. They don't know you. They don't know if they're coming or going. They may have been through 3 or 4 households before they got to you. You've got to build a bond with your dog. So just let them decompress. Let them have some space. You need to do minimal people exposure with that dog, and absolutely do not bring a dog home and throw it in the mix with your other dogs. I don't care how many meet and greets you've done. Don't expect your dog to just come home and be best friends with everybody else in the household. You don't know what they've been through. You need to give them some space. Number 3, structure. Your dog has to have structure. They need black and white boundaries. They crave that. They want that because they want a job to do. So it is really, really important that when you bring that dog home, or if you've had the dog and you aren't doing this yet, give your dog a crate. Give them a safe place to go. They need their own little den. They need their own spot. So feed that dog in the crate and make them sleep in the crate. And this doesn't need to be forever. I know most of us want our dogs to sleep in bed with us, and by all means, I say go for it, but not in the beginning. Wait until you built that bond. Wait until you guys know each other. You know your dog knows you. Now that your dog knows what's expected of them, then sleep in bed, then sleep on the couch, then give them more freedoms. But in the beginning, they need to know don't give them the whole run of the house and expect that they're not gonna chew things up or expect that they're not gonna freak out and pee in the corner. Just give them a safe place to be. So they eat in the crate and they sleep in the crate. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a punishment. That's a good place. Your dog will most likely want to just kind of be in their own spot. The 4th thing you're gonna do, leash foundation. Put a leash on your dog. So if you watch my channel, every single video, I use a Hermspringer prong collar. Best way to communicate with a dog. I put that on every single dog that comes through this door. Every rescue dog, I don't care what their past was. If I'm starting the leash foundation, I throw a prong collar on them right away. I do that because I am extremely confident with a prong collar and I know what I'm doing. So I have 0 hesitation whatsoever. My confidence zips right down that leash. That dog then knows instantly, I'm pack leader. They don't worry about anything. I just walk, I throw my shoulders back and I walk them through, and now we just start our leash foundation. If this is your brand new rescue dog and you've never used a prong collar before and you don't know this dog very well and you're nervous about doing it, don't do it. If you're nervous about using a prong collar on a dog that you don't know that well, don't use it yet. Build some foundation first. This is a slip lead from Canine Lifeline that I use. So you're gonna use this the same way you would a prong collar. Goes high and snug all the way up at the jaw, right behind, as close to that ear as possible. On this channel, you can find the leash reactivity video, which will show you how to place the leash, how to place the collar in the leash and do all that. So you can find all that there. So once you've got your leash on your dog, you can just let it drag in the house. When your dog is out of that crate, it needs to be with you. You need to be spending time with your dog. Build that bond. Start working with your dog when you're in the house. You don't have to have a big piece of property. You don't even have to have a backyard. Just put your leash on your dog. Walk them around the house. You can just do loops around the house. Use food for this. This is a really great way to start building that bond with your dog, is to use food. You will literally be the hand that feeds them. Dogs associate that with you are their pack leader and they trust you. When you give them good things like that, they trust you. So you can walk around with this leash. Anytime your dog makes eye contact with you, reward them. Give them a treat. As you're just walking around the house and you're talking to your dog, calling them by name, and they do something or they're wagging their tail, give them a reward. You're not always going to do this, but in the beginning, it's a great way to build that bond. Step 5. So I guess there was really only 4 steps, because step 5 is now you can start training your dog. Now that you've taken the emotion out of it, you're a neutral energy for your dog. You've given your dog some time to decompress. You've provided structure. You have a crate. Your dog gets the boundaries. It's understanding that. You've got leash foundation dialed in. You're working your dog on a leash. Now you can start teaching your dog some basic obedience. This is where you really get your dog dialed in, but build that trust first. If your dog doesn't know you and you just bring him home, you can't just start asking him to do things and wonder why they're still freaked out. You got to spend some time with your dog to really build that bond and build that trust. And those are the ways that you do that. If you've got a dog that is not brand new and you're still struggling, you've got to implement structure and you've got to implement your leash foundation. Everything else that I talked about is on this channel, so you can go through this channel. I have a playlist that's called Start Here, and it literally has all of the basic foundation that you'll need for that dog. Okay, you guys, if this video was helpful for you, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when I do new videos. If you know someone that could use this information, share this video with them. This is really important stuff. I want you to have success with your dogs, and I don't want you to have to give up your dog. I don't want it to go to the shelter. Sure as shit don't want your dog to get euthanized, and I don't want to have to take it. I don't have any room in my house for another dog. So share this video if you know somebody that can use it. All right, I'll see you soon.